At the end of the day, selling is transferring a feeling. If you don't have the feeling, you can't transfer it. If you don't have a good, positive feeling, dude, you're an actor. You have to sell and run your business from a place of positivity. And however you get there, God bless you. Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 194, and we are with my friend Karen Converse, president of Four Pillars Enterprises, and we are going to talk about the Sleepless struggle. And if you haven't already read it, what are you waiting for? Now couldn't be a better time to learn how to market your store better. Sell a Million is 101 tips for furniture and mattress store owners to help you sell another million or more this year. What are you waiting for? It's literally the price of a lunch. I think it's supposed to be like $20 and it's still $14.95, $14.99. So hurry up, grab it. And if you need any help implementing anything in that book, just call me 419-560-3169. And I'd love to thank my friends at the Mattress Industry Network group for sponsoring the show. Appreciate you guys, and appreciate you, Steve and Greg. The Mattress Industry Network group. If you are in the mattress industry, we want you in this group. If you want to learn how to network, how to succeed, how to advertise, how to merchandise, everybody's here. And hit that QR code. It'll take you straight into the Mattress Industry Network group. I believe over 2,200 strong and growing every week. Join us there. It's a great group. You have everything from store owners to RSAs. We have owners of manufacturers. We have VPs of sales. Everybody's in here. Join the group and network, and realize this: you're not alone in this industry, okay? And I know, Patrick, I'm ready to go. Here we are. Most anticipated show ever. Joe Clay, you some Karen Converse. Jennifer, and I am on time. Yes. Can't wait to hear this episode. Well, let's roll. Oh, we got one more. Thank you, Chris, for catching me. And our sponsors for this week and next week, our friends at Bedding Industries of America. They're going to be showing at the Crownmark building. And if you need double-sided, you need split heads, you need anything that is selling today, we have it. But here's the little thing that a lot of people forget about. We are the largest private label manufacturer in the world that I know of. So if you need a private label, swing by. We're the people for you. So join us at High Point Market in the Crownmark building up on the 4th floor. We have the entire floor. My friends Steve Carnes and James Short will be glad to help you. And if you have any questions about Bedding Industries of America, call me at 419-560-3169. I'd love to help you and point you in the right direction and answer any questions that you might have. Karen, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Your fans are like, so I didn't even share this with you. You're going to laugh when you hear this. So Andy's all ticked off at me, evidently, or pretending to be. And God bless him. I love him. And he's an important part of our little world that we've got, right? Oh, look at Andy. He's such a fan. So he said, when I found out who was on your show today, I decided to let you out of the doghouse.
Oh, see?
That's essentially
you're welcome, Pete.
What he said. So I'm back in Andy's good graces because of you. So Karen, thank you for being on the show today.
Right. Well, you're welcome, Pete. And I'm glad that you're out of the doghouse.
Good
job, Andrew.
Who's having this sleepless struggle?
Everyone. And you know, this is why I was so excited that you asked me to be on this month. Is we're into the 4th quarter. And there's a lot of activity happening in the fourth quarter. And it's funny, sleep deprivation, I bring this up all the time, is, it's an epidemic. It's classified in 2015 by the CDC in our country, and it continues to be. And it's an epidemic that is cured easily by getting a better night's sleep, a longer night's sleep. And it's funny that we made, I think we made little jokes about this several years ago by calling it, zombieism. Are you a sleep zombie? And to make and especially right around October, because you bring that awareness. But the reality is, it's sleep deprivation. So what's coming up in the next couple of weeks, really fast here, is November 3rd. You know what November 3rd is?
November 3rd.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the day before the election,
2 days.
and
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
day I am flying to Texas for a sales conference.
Okay. But two things that are on November 3rd. And it's good that you know this because it might help you, is we are turning the clocks back. So we're falling back an hour. Now, the nice part about it is that we get an additional hour of sleep, right? But that still affects us. It still disrupts our circadian rhythm. It still makes us a little groggy, right? Because what happens is we have a reduced sunlight exposure. I don't know about you, Pete, but I get up in the morning, I come downstairs, get my coffee going, and I let my dog out. And when I let my dog out, I go out and stand outside, get a little bit of sunlight, and that starts my day. Get that into me. And now with that clock's rolling back, right? It's not going to be so sunny out when I come down in the morning, because it'll be 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, really like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to be able to get that. So I have to remind myself to go out, I actually stand outside and do this, right? Let that vitamin D come down inside me. We also have some different health concerns that we want to make aware, as well as we have a little bit more of, we're tired with that lack of sunlight, circadian rhythm getting all messed up. We tend to get a little bit tired. But here's the sad part, is that now that we rolled our clocks back and we get that additional hour, we tend to dismiss it, right? So we roll the clocks back. It's going to be 9 o'clock, which is really 10 o'clock. We still go to bed at 10 o'clock, which is 11 o'clock. What I'm going to do, and you'll have to see how this works out for me, is that when I roll my clocks back, I'm actually going to go to bed at 9. That's going to be a tough one for me. I have to go right back to my middle school years, because that's something I did the same thing that everybody else does, is I fight it, right? I'm like, oh, that's not a big deal for me. But I know in the last 2 years, when I've really paid attention to it, it does affect me. I'm moody. I'm cranky. And that's not great when you're talking to people. It's not great when you're talking to your customers. It's not great when you're talking to your friends and family. It's very, it's upsetting. So I'm really going to try to get that time in. But what I really wanted to talk about, the other item that happens, it starts on November 3rd, and it's near and dear to me. And I just don't see a lot of conversation about it, is National Drowsy Driving Prevention Week. And that starts November 3rd, and that goes through November 9th. Last year, Pete, seriously, I looked and scoured the media. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anybody talking about it. I didn't see any awareness to this subject. And it is big. I'll share with you a quick story. And I know Chris has a couple of slides he could put up too. But before we show the slide, I was just going to share a personal story with you. And my daughter gave me permission to share this. She was actually going to try to be on the call to put a little comments in and go, yes, this is true. So I brought up National Drowsy Driving last year. It was the same time, first week of November, and I brought it up with my kids. And, my children have always had to listen to me talk about sleep, talk about better sleep, talk about all this for their entire lives. And, they did what they normally do. They listened to me, but they're kind of like, whatever, Mom, right? And I didn't think anything resonated. And then January came, and my daughter, my youngest daughter, she'll be 28 here in a couple of weeks. She called me up. She says, Mom, I have to share something with you. And you need to be sitting down because it's going to upset you. And I said, okay. And she said, my heart's beating right now because I just remember how upset I was. She says, I was driving and I fell asleep at the wheel.
Wow.
My head dropped, right? And I pulled over. I immediately pulled over. I just shut my eyes. I took a nap, and I said, "What?" She said, "I know." I ignored it, right? The yawning. I rolled my windows down, played the music, and I go, "But what did I say? What did I say?" Rolling the window down, getting the fresh air, putting the music on, chewing gum, slurping coffee. That's not, if you're sleep deprived, that is not going to help you stay awake at the wheel. And I'm going to let y'all know that hit me hard, and that's going to make me talk even louder and stronger about this National Drowsy Driving Awareness Week, because it's not just 1 week. It's something we need to talk about all the time and how important it is. Driving with I'm trying to remember the statistic now. I gave it to you, Chris. It's equivalent to, drowsy driving is equivalent to drinking 3 beers or 3 drinks, right? And we're normally, there it is right there. 30% of people report dozing off behind the wheel. Driving 4 to 5 hours of driving on 4 to 5 hours of sleep means that you're 4 times likely to crash. And losing 2 hours of sleep is similar to having 3 beers. I know it's close to that, but how many people, especially right now, we're rolling that clock back. It's darker out. We're fighting our natural urge to just rest and sleep a little bit longer. And so we have holidays, right? We have Halloween coming up. We're out trick-or-treating. Then we have shopping, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of that coming up. And so we're out on the roads, and then we're super busy because we're planning even more into our lives. We have to be aware. 1 in 3 drivers admitted to having a hard time keeping their eyes open while driving. And I'm going to let you know that this was last year. I did meet Larry. I don't remember where, I think down in Pennsylvania we were meeting. I was late. I don't think I ever told him this story, but I was driving, and it was a lot of driving over the last couple of days. And I was close to it, but I was starting to yawn and I was straining, and I just pulled over at like a convenience store, shut my car off, and I took a nap. I go, I'm just going to shut my eyes for 5 minutes. I was out for 20 minutes. I was sleep deprived. Even all of us, right? We know, and most of the people that are listening to me are like, yeah, I know this. But are you doing it? Are you prepared? Are you having those conversations with your friends and family? Are you bringing it up when consumers come into your showrooms and talking to them about the importance? And go on to National Sleep Foundation and pull some resources, put them up on your social media, make a poster to put into your showroom, and have that conversation and talk about sleep deprivation.
So I have to ask, what happened? What happened to your daughter?
She survived. No, she took her nap, right? She was fine, but even to this day, she's super aware. And I had a conversation, like I said, I asked her permission to have this story, to talk about this story. And she said it just really brought that awareness to herself. She said, yeah, I'm always listening to you, Mom, but it was like, I could hear you screaming in my head when I pulled over. And I said, I know, but I really wish that you had me screaming in your head when you were driving. So yeah, it was right there for me. So I was thought I'd share that personal story, that even somebody like myself that doesn't even get invited to cocktail parties anymore, because this is all I talk about, right? Still, it doesn't, if people aren't listening, aren't taking it and not making a joke about it. It always feels like, that's where it started off with, like, we made a joke of zombieism, because we really don't want to have that conversation about sleep deprivation or drowsy driving. Yeah. And I wish that our community, I wish our society had, listen to me, I sound like I'm on a soapbox here, but remember when we had MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving? We had all of these organizations and lots of conversation, tons of commercials and media. We don't have anything about that for drowsy driving, right?
I think you should head it up.
I should.
You should start that.
I should.
I am with Larry with the hug. Here's a hug for you from Larry Soraka and Larry. From me.
Larry's like, you didn't tell me that. But it's
It's
so funny that Chris Tahini just put that up. I was waiting for Chris because
yeah,
you know what?
let's do that.
Yeah,
You want to go ahead and read that?
yeah. State legislatures in Arkansas are now considering allowing mattresses to be part of tax-free weekends, partially because of how major an issue drowsy driving is. Diminished reaction from less than 7 hours of sleep is comparable to BAC levels that will get you arrested in Europe. Right. Great. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. And, you know, I know Chris previously had posted a lot of things on LinkedIn of accidents, major accidents due to sleep deprivation or drowsy driving or drowsy. Yeah, they were driving. And people were like, oh, that's so sad. Like, why do you put that up there? It's so, you know, catastrophic and it's a Debbie Downer. And the reality is that it's happening. We shouldn't be embarrassed or shouldn't be, I know that I'm not, and everybody else shouldn't be feeling some kind of, well, I don't want to talk about that. We got to always stay upbeat and happy all the time. But it's our obligation to educate the consumer base coming through the door. We know the information and we should go out and be able to share that.
You know, Karen, thank you. You are constantly bringing us resources, and I don't want anyone to sleep on this. This is a great little website, National Sleep Foundation, um, and you know, look these websites up and see what's on there that you can use in your social media to create posts and awareness and sales meetings with your staff. Your staff needs to be trained to not only be sleep experts, but also what are the results when people don't get a good night's sleep? What catastrophes can happen and how do we prevent them?
Right. Yeah. So great content to utilize in your stores. Again, have above and beyond, you just not only your customer base, but your family and your friends, especially coming into the holidays. And we're seeing all of our friends and family more. So
Yeah, and you know, this thing with teens really concerns me because we know that teens often don't have the judgment that adults have. And, you know, what have they seen modeled their whole life? They've seen us at times drive when we shouldn't.
yeah,
If we're all being honest with that.
right.
And you know, you can't ask someone not to do something that you do
Oh
right
yeah.
in front of them.
Oh
So
yeah.
just realize that you're always the example. And Karen, me and you are examples to everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I drive 60,000 miles a year consistently for many, many years. And I have to discipline myself to not to pull over sometimes. I pull over a few times a year. And Jenny constantly checks me. Joe Clay says she's incredible about keeping this at the forefront of our thoughts. Karen is amazing. I concur. Chris Tahani says the next one I have scheduled to share on LinkedIn is the Hummel disaster. Anniversary is
What was
December
that?
2nd. It is a bad one. So since I
Okay.
can't pronounce it, it's spelled Bhopal.
No, I don't know.
I don't even know what it is.
But for all of us that have social media or a company website, to go into National Sleep Foundation and pull that uh, little poster and put it up
Yeah,
from November 3rd to November 9th,
that
right?
infographic is huge.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
already done for you. Just tap it, use it.
right,
Nobody else seems to be, and we really should. Just forget about it's going to help us be experts. It's going to help us be who we should be with the retail customer. Just be a good citizen. Just be a good human being,
right,
you know?
right.
So thank you
Which,
for sharing that.
yeah, absolutely. And I'll say this. I was hesitant to say it, but when my daughter called me and we had this conversation, she said, you could go ahead. But I was like, because nobody likes to say, she said, Mom, I've had a couple of drinks and I've driven. We all have. I have. We all have in our life. We have. And she said, so I never understood until that moment that being drowsy was so worse than even having a drink or two. Because with a drink or two, I know what's happening. She was, I knew what's happening. I'm aware. I'm hyper aware. I'm paying attention. But when I was drowsy, it was like everything I was like, I get a zombie, right? It was just nothing. So on that note, I'm not done. I'll put it up on my social media. I'll put it everywhere just to keep that track. But speaking of kids, children, I was told, don't say kids, those are goats. Whatever. So speaking of children, let's talk about children for just a second.
Sure.
Hey, Pete, did you know that since we're talking about the National Sleep Foundation, did you know that they recently stated that a child will spend 40% of their childhood asleep?
Wow, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you know that according to the National Sleep Foundation, 60% of children ages 4 to 12 years old complain of feeling tired during the day.
Wow.
You know, I have 2 grandchildren, 3 now. 3. I have a third one. He's going to be 5 months here, a little bit. And I have them for a weekend, or I'll have them for a couple of days. And I am super aware of their behavior, their actions, reactions have a lot to do with how much sleep that they had or didn't have the night before, or do they need a nap? You know, kids ages 5 to 12 need 10 to 11 hours of sleep each night. And I'm wondering, do a lot of parents know how much time that their child needs to get a good quality sleep? Which also leads me going back to that whole story of children is, you know, a lot of times we look at the way that a child behaves, right? Their performance, their concentration level, their reaction times, and we just think it's them. But the reality is they're sleep deprived, right along with the rest of us. You know, inadequate sleep can cause increases in injuries, accidents, behavioral issues, and even memory lapses. How well that they perform in school has everything to do with how well they sleep the night before. Because you know what they say, Pete? Your day doesn't begin when you wake up in the morning. It begins when you go to bed at night. Because how well you sleep all throughout the night determines how well your day is going to be. And so prioritizing sleep is super important and should not be overlooked when it comes to children, which again, we're coming into that fourth quarter. People are reevaluating. Maybe they want to update their child's bedroom and they're looking, oh, you know, I want to get a new mattress. Where are the children's mattresses? They're right over there next to the children's iPhones. They don't exist. There's no such thing as a child's mattress. There's different sizes. What? Have you ever seen
I love that. That is so good. It's right next to the children's iPhone.
Yeah, it is.
So good.
It's over there.
Andy, are you watching? Andy,
yeah.
I want you to use that this week and report in on Friday, when we will definitely have Winning the Weekend with Pete and Friends.
Right.
And it will work this time.
And I'll share with you again another little, I'm getting a little personal today, but it's important. You know, I was a single mom, 3 children, right? I didn't have cable TV. I didn't have a cell phone. I found cable TV to be a way. Actually, I needed a new TV to get cable TV. And I said, look, my TV works fine. But here's what my children had. They had brand new shoes every year, and they had a good quality mattress, a very nice mattress. Matter of fact, their friends used to come over and go, oh, your mattress is so nice. Because I knew the importance of sleep from my mother and my grandmother. They always said the same thing. You need a good quality sleep. You need a good quality mattress, and you need good quality shoes to be successful in life. And that's just those facts continue today. So looking into a good quality mattress is super important. And I'll share another quick story with you these are real stories. So we're coming into the holidays, right? And I've had a lot of people say to me, well, you know, they're super expensive, but not really. So when my son was, and he's 33 now, when he was 14, he said, Mom, I need a queen mattress. I would like a queen mattress. My twin is too small. And I said, okay, this was like in December. And I said, all right, well, that's still expensive, right? No, it's not really. It's expensive when you think about Christmas time. So I'm thinking, I go, you know, what do you think about getting a mattress for your Christmas present? because you're going to get a whole bunch of useless stuff, clothes you'll outgrow, games that you'll play once or twice and be done with, toys that'll be in next year's garage sale. You get all that from everybody else. What about if I get you a queen size mattress? You want a pillow top for Christmas and go pick it out. He says, nah, I'll just take the useless stuff. That's what he said to me. I said, well, I'll tell you what. You know what? The best decisions are made on a good night's sleep. So why don't you go to bed? Why don't you think about it? And then let me know in the morning what you'd like to do. Guess what, Pete?
He woke up and thought, I need to get a better night's sleep.
He did. And so we picked out a new mattress. His birthday is 2 days after Christmas. And so we went out and got the sheets, the comforter, all of that. So really, when you think about it, the best gift to give is, a great night's sleep. And speaking of my children, they've received sheets, pillows for Christmas presents. And my daughter wanted me to say this too. She goes, we look forward to that every year. We're super excited about getting sheets. And Chris, guess what sheets they're getting for Christmas this year? You got it, Dream Fit sheets. So they're very excited about that. And the importance of sleep, they're all of them have good quality mattresses. 2 out of 3 have a power base, but their pillow, their sheets, their mattress, how well they sleep is important. And the same with their children. It's all in the family, right? But they're getting good quality sleep. But even again, going back to my original conversation about drowsy driving, even when you know everything about it and you're fully aware, you still have to constantly be reminded about the importance of it.
I'm making a lot of notes.
Are you? What notes are you making, Pete? Because I'm just like talking, and usually you.
Yeah.
So we're always like.
So here's something that I think we sleep on a little bit as retail store owners. 20 or 30 years ago, we ran a gift ad, get a mattress, and nobody came in on the ad, so we're not going to run it again. Well, let me tell you what's changed. This is what's changed. COVID changed everything because we got shut in to our house and we couldn't get away from our mattress. And all of a sudden, when people were free again, they were able to go out and buy mattresses, and they bought mattresses like it was like crazy. And everybody remembers that was in the business in 2020. So don't forget that. And don't forget this. It's no accident people are willing to spend more money today than ever before to get a complete sleep system so they can get a better night's sleep and they can wake up as pain-free and happy as they can possibly, given their limitations. So go ahead and run that ad in December. Give the gift of a good night's sleep. Go for it. And I bet you that it will be better than it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. It'll be better. Serenity Sleep Solutions, mattress and more. Marnie says, great stuff on the NSF website for us to use. Thank you, Marnie. I am begging everybody that's watching this, get on that website. Karen gave you gold here, and go mine that gold. Thank you, Marnie.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how much that we start seeing. It will be interesting to see how much we see in the next couple of weeks to see if everybody, and I'm going to start now because I'm not going to wait right up to it to have that conversation. Which leads me, so what did we talk about? We talked about the rollback clock.
Yeah, National Drowsy Driving Prevention Week.
Drowsy driving, right into
talked about
children, how important it is for children to have a good night quality sleep. And why is that? Why is that we don't, and I'll speak for, we're all like that. It's not like it didn't hit me, right? We don't want to invest all of that money into a great quality mattress. Why is that? Because it's not something that everybody can see, right? But here's the facts, is that everybody can see how your child behaves, how they perform, how well that they're sleeping. And it's not that you have to go out and buy a $5,000 mattress, but it should be super important to have your child come in, test dress the mattress, have an opinion on how comfortable it is, how supportive it is for them, because they should be spending 10 to 11 hours of sleep. And not just children, but ourselves included, the importance of us to have 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I was on that Mattress Industry Network this morning. I heard Scott Vaughn was talking about just 2 minutes of less sleep, what that does. But even beyond that hits every single person, not somebody that's over the age of 65, that as you lower the amount of time that you're sleeping, you decrease your immunity. And that's a fact. So we're getting into that, coming back in. You just said that we're coming back into the house. We're into enclosed environments, breathing each other's air more and more. But viruses are more rampant because we're outside less. So having a good quality sleep that ensures that your immunity is up, right? Your white blood cells are ready to fight is super important. So that's why I think the fourth quarter, why I just put a lot more emphasis on that sleepless struggle. We have so much going on, a lot of activities that we want to prioritize the importance of sleep and investing that time. Get off your phones an hour or so before you go to bed. Don't eat a lot of carbs before you go to bed, or don't even eat a heavy meal. I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but don't have the alcohol before you go to bed. That also disrupts your sleep. Making sure that you have your temperature in your room 65. This is perfect. We're getting into the colder months, 65 degrees, 65, 68 degrees. We sleep so much better in a cooler environment than a warmer environment. Having the dark curtains, no noise, or have some kind. I have a fan. I have to have a fan on to fall asleep now. So that's important as well.
So right now we're having a contest in my house. Who's going to cry uncle first?
Ooh.
Because we have not turned, it was 47 degrees out. We have not turned the heat on yet. And I'm like, honey, you going to turn the heat on? And she's like, no, I'm okay. I'm like, okay. Well, if you're okay, I'm okay.
I
always get the last two words in. Yes, dear.
Yeah, I turn my heat on because I can't, just sitting here. If I do an office day, if I'm ice cold, I can't think. I just can't think. So I said, we'll just got to take the bite out. I mean, it was 41 degrees when I woke up last week. They even said that there was a possibility of snow, but that's not going to happen. That's just crazy talk. Not that it hasn't snowed on Halloween before. So moving forward, I like what you said earlier in one of your Friday talk was, we should be done, right? Except for the drowsy driving with your fourth quarter, thinking about all the conversations we're having with our customers, any advertising that we're talking, and maybe we should be talking about January.
We should.
So you ready for the January idea?
We should be talking about the first quarter right now.
Right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Now we know that all of those sleep events happen in March, right? National Napping Day, Sleep Awareness Week, National Sleep Day. There's all of that in March, which we can talk about later. But let's think about January 1st. What does everybody do? Well, I don't hear them as much anymore, but I used to. What did we all do New Year's Eve? What did we make?
What should we have made, or what?
I don't know. What did we make? What do we talk about that we're going to do in the next year?
Oh, man.
Oh, I'll give you a hint.
Hey, Vanessa.
Well,
how are you? Thank you for being here. We made what?
Resolutions.
We made New Year's resolutions.
New Year's resolutions.
Many, many years ago.
Yeah. So are you ready for this one? You're going to love this. You're like, how's Karen
Larry couldn't take it.
Resolutions to sleep? Well, let me tell you, because you're going to love it. Give me a couple of resolutions we won't keep. Funny, Larry. All right. So give me a couple of resolutions that are most popular. Anybody can write in. Give me a couple
I'm gonna lose weight.
Lose weight. I'm gonna write that down.
And I do.
Lose weight.
I just don't tell you. I gain it back a few months later.
Okay, but let's keep on track of the resolutions. Give me some. Come on. Exercise more. Exercise more.
Stop doing what? What are you going to stop doing?
Stop doing something.
They're going to
I'm writing
stop
that down.
drinking. They're going to stop smoking. They're going to stop this, that, and the other.
Right, create
Stop
a new
swearing.
habit.
I wish I would stop swearing.
Create a new habit. So lose weight, exercise more, stop doing something, eat better.
That would be
Eat
good.
better. Eat better. I always hear that all the time. Well, those are the top, right? Alcohol.
Stop
drinking
drinking.
alcohol.
Yeah.
Good luck, Larry. Good luck.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
good
lose
all
weight.
the way up to you're in Vegas.
With that, yeah. All right. So what would you say if I told you that a better night's sleep is the solution for your resolution to stay intact? Yes, better sleep is the resolution solution. And here's how. Yep, exercise. That's a good one too. You ready? 4 pillars. It's the name of, my business is 4 Pillar Enterprises. I base everything on the 4 pillars and the importance of health. So the four pillars and the importance of health to you are going to be sleep, hydration, nutrition, and exercise. Would you agree, Pete?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So when you're sleep deprived and you're not getting adequate amount of sleep, are you choosing good quality hydration? Good quality hydration. Are you choosing water? Are you choosing caffeine, sugar-loaded drinks, energy drinks? Which one are you doing if you're sleep deprived?
Or salty drinks that make you puffy.
Yeah, could do that. Could do that. That's more food. That was tomatoes, but that's another story. But you're not choosing the good quality you're not choosing good quality hydration. Swearing is therapy. You're funny.
I'm with you, Marnie.
Yeah, it's true. That is good therapy. But you're not choosing good quality hydration. You're choosing the caffeine and the sugar drinks, right? Without proper sleep. So with the hydration, so then without proper sleep, you're not choosing the proper nutrition. You're not choosing the good lean cuts of meat, fruits, vegetables. You're going for what? The carbohydrates. You're going for the sugar. You're going for the quick meals, the processed meals. So going back to that resolution that you wanted to lose weight, are you drinking water? Are you eating good quality foods? No, you can't, because sleep deprivation mixes up your ghrelin and your leptin. So you want to eat more and you're not satiated. That's why you eat more, and you're reaching for your blood sugar to be regulated. You're reaching for more carbohydrates and more sugar. So sleep deprivation, not getting quality sleep, already X's out not being able to lose weight, right? And then going to exercise. Exercise when you are sleep deprived, do you have the willpower? Do you have the ability to go to the gym? And even if you do go to the gym, are you putting as much effort as you possibly can into the exercise that you wanted to do or wanted to start? So going back to what I was saying earlier is that your resolutions are out there, and to enhance or to ensure that you want to properly meet some of those resolutions and actually fulfill them longer than 2 weeks, right? Because it takes 2 weeks to build a habit, Pete. You want to eat better. You want to stop drinking so much. You want to exercise more. You want to lose weight. You want to sleep better. You want to enhance your sleep, because a good night's sleep is the resolution solution for 2025. And boom, that's my whole platform.
All right. Karen for president.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that,
the president of the National Drowsy Drive-In Foundation.
Yeah. You just said that for president. Just remind me of that. The question that I ask customers when they come in, especially during election time, is what? Who was the president the last time you bought a mattress?
That is
great question to ask.
That is a great question. That is a great question.
So who was the president the last time you bought a mattress? If it's Reagan, right?
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Immediately get them to your sleep center and help them buy and actually select and purchase a better night's sleep. It is funny. I did a whole sheet, right? To create a survey. And I did ask, I spent a week with customers and just asked every single person that went through the door is, here at XYZ, we take sleep very seriously. And we're doing a quick survey. because we did want to know is who was the president the last time you purchased a mattress. And it's funny what people say.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have that. I used to have a pin that I made up years ago, and I used to wear it with me all over. And people used to stop me in stores, and it had on there who was the president the last time you bought a mattress. And people would just laugh and go, "Oh my gosh, why do you ask that?" Well, because most people don't realize that their mattresses start losing support in as little as sometimes 6 years, and you don't realize that your mattress is not the mattress for you until you're in pain or you're just not sleeping. It's a slow, subtle loss of support and comfort. And then boom, you need a new mattress. And then you're out there shopping and you're sleep deprived, trying to make a good decision, which is never good because sleep deprivation also makes you confused, easily confused, highly agitated. It's the worst scenario. So
I have something for our listeners. If this is hitting you a little bit funny and you're not quite sure if sleep deprivation actually affects athletic performance or affects someone's ability to lose weight, Google it any which way you want to, and you will be amazed at the amount of articles. And they started to have been written about 6 to 8 years ago is when they really started to put this together. And there is volume after volume of studies, direct correlation. And sometimes one of the best headers could be, you want to lose weight? Sleep more. It's true. It's actually true because of everything that Karen said. And I just want to make sure everybody gets this. These should be headers. These should be your headlines in your social media ads. You should be grabbing people's attention with things other than we're 80% off. And that's why it doesn't matter what percent off you are. If you can deliver a better life to somebody, all of a sudden discounting becomes irrelevant. And if your messaging is we're going to help you, we're going to properly fit you for a total sleep solution that helps you get a better night's sleep and helps you wake up happy and pain-free, that's what people want.
Yeah.
Joe Clay is laughing. I've literally been asking that to almost every customer. Oh, the president thing, Joe?
Really?
I love that.
It's
That's
awesome.
great. Well, you've said that more than one time. And Marnie from Serenity Sleep Solutions says, "Ha, that's great. I have a campaign group outside the store today. I'll be asking that question." That's a great question.
It is. But let me add to it. So maybe you want to continue that conversation. I played a little game of, can you create a conversation, just throw one thing at you. And so I don't remember the sales associate threw, because we were playing a little, back and forth, and they threw something at me. And I said, we were just talking about who's the president last time that you purchased a mattress, and above and beyond that, think about what if your mattress, we thought of the same way, the mattress of the election. So you purchase your mattress. After 4 years, you do what if we had an assessment sheet and you did an assessment of the mattress to ensure that it's doing everything that you need it to do, right? Great support, great comfort. It's doing everything, ensuring that you're getting that, assisting. You have to do a lot of things to make sure that you fall asleep, but giving you everything that you need. But then after the next 4 years, it's out. Only 8 years out of the house. So 4 years to do a quick analysis of it, but after 8 years, new one in the house. So that's pretty funny. It goes right along with that whole, not to get political, but that whole election conversation, because it's out there. We are talking. So
sure,
good conversations. It's funny, Joe, you say that. So just to review, and I don't want anything to fall aside of that. I'm just going back to that whole conversation with children, because it is a conversation that I've had many times, even when I worked on the floor, is that when they come in, especially in October, November, and just mention the fact of, what do you think about getting that mattress? Because if they say, it's a little bit more, but gosh, I don't want to spend this much money because I've got Christmas coming up, and I got this coming up, is what do you think about getting your child the mattress for a Christmas present? And maybe your relatives can get sheets and comforter and do the bedroom, because, we all have, I have three, right? We all have children, and they spend a lot of time in their bedroom, too much time as they get older and away from us, but their mattress is their bedroom is their sanctuary. They're on their mattress. They do want to sleep, and they like the look, right, of everything and being comfortable. And when they come back and say, well, no, I don't want to do that. This is a purchase, a gift that they're going to have for the next, 10 years, depending on how old they are. Possibly if they're in their teens, taking it with them to college, or taking it with them to their first apartment, or their first, place that they live on their own. So it is a very important decision, and I don't think it should be discounted as a gift during the holidays, if you're looking to get a good quality
No,
gift for your child.
I think the idea of a good night's sleep isn't limited to adults. It should include our children. And, I think it's a fun fact that maybe a lot of people don't know, that children, for optimal growth and development and performance, need to get 10 to 11 hours of sleep.
Yes.
I bet you most people don't know that. And I think that's, again, could be a header on a headline on a social media post, could be an ad, could be a lot of things. For sure, it should be in our sales training, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I did give Chris, I had like a little graph of the amount of time that at each age group that a person needs. There we go. Thank you, Chris.
Ooh, this is so good.
Yeah, and I think this is another piece of information to print out, put up somewhere, maybe frame it,
It's a
put it
poster.
somewhere.
Did you know?
Poster. Did you know? Right. That your child needs this many hours of sleep. Now that includes nap time. So it's not just at night on the lower ones, right? Includes that nap time. But when you're looking at that preschool, the 3 to 5-year-old, 10 to 13 hours. And most of them at preschool are sleeping a half an hour. So that's a time. Are they going to bed? If they're getting up at 6:30 for school, are they going to bed, at 7? Are they getting that good quality nap? And then reassessing that. It's true though, because I myself, when I'm babysitting, I'm like, oh, they don't want to go to bed at 7:30. That's so early. I'm still playing with them. But I know if they don't go to bed at 7:30, when they get up the next morning, it's me that pays that price. It's them that pays that price, because they're just not at their best self. So we know as adults, we always hear it all the time, 7 to 9 hours, but really focus in on the teen, the school age, the preschool, toddler, even your infant, to ensure that they're getting that. I don't think most people know this. I think we know it, being in the industry, but I don't think that the average consumer really knows how much sleep that their child needs.
No, and I have to tell you that I identify with a school age child, because I have to get 9 to 11 hours of sleep. No, that's what it is for me.
Funny.
I
Not
have
funny, haha. It's funny.
I have to get 9 to 11 hours of sleep. And that's just the way it is, because I run hard. I run really, really hard. Everything I do is like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why. So
Right.
that's great, Karen. You gave us some really good tools. So here's a question that I think would be really helpful if you could share this, like, behind the scenes secret. How did you cobble all this stuff together so that maybe they know where to go and look and maybe get some of this information?
Great question. I've been collecting items for years and years, and I go back to those items again and again. And National Sleep Foundation is a big website.
Yep. Yeah.
Bettersleep.org is another one. That was a big one back when I was selling on the floor, that we used
Still
to
is.
go into. Yeah, I don't hear about it as much from people, but those two websites will will keep you really busy.
Bettersleep.org.
Yep.
What's the
And
other one?
National Sleep Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are two great websites that give you, you look at the surface, but you can dig deep, right? You go back for years, they have tons of information on the importance of sleep. And then, tips, there's 15 tips for nodding off, sleep your way to better health. And it's not children in bedtime. There's a whole segment on children right there. And I grab this information, I put it together. I do handouts like, like this little handout that I created that I bring to stores. Lots of good information. Prevention. If you want, I don't know if anybody has a subscription to prevention. Prevention has it's a great resource for sleep and information as well.
And you're speaking about Prevention Magazine.
Yeah, Prevention Magazine. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I picked up a lot of good tidbits, but truthfully, standing in the grocery store, waiting patiently. I think I shared that with you guys before that I practiced years ago, probably 10, 11 years ago, I was practicing patience because I'm an impatient person. And you get up there in line, and even though you spend an hour in the show or in the store shopping, when you get up there, you want out. I want out. So I was practicing patience, and how I was doing that was I was just over there looking at magazines, just looking at the titles, and I was like, well, what's this? And there's an article about sleep. Oh, here's another one. And not just women's magazines. It was men's fitness. So I bought a couple of magazines and I brought them home, and I looked at the articles, and I started cutting them out. I have a big binder right now filled with articles from magazines over the course of years on sleep. So you could just go to your grocery store and pick up any article, any magazine that's going to have a quick information.
So if you are a store owner, you should be a professional sleep expert. You should have your own binder. And if you're a professional RSA who is making a living on commission from the sales that you make, it's your responsibility to people you serve to be well informed and to be a professional. You should have a binder just like, when did you start to create that? That's my question.
Oh, it was funny. It was in 2009. Gosh, oh, that was longer than 10, 11 years ago. Oh my gosh, it was 2009.
So
Yeah.
you were in retail at that point in time?
No, I was I was a rep for Simmons Beauty Rest at the
Okay.
time, and I was, we were a lot of conversations and meetings were based around specs, were based around the mattress itself. We weren't really getting into it. Was more the sell in, not necessarily the sell through. So those conversations were just starting to develop and
Right.
branching out other than just beyond the actual product. And I had just branched out on my own with these articles and just started getting deeper into bringing up information. I mean, my whole motto when I sold on the floor was everything I learn about you can and will be used against you to close the sale. And it's a joke, it's a jest. But the reality is the more I understand about what's keeping you from getting a great night's sleep, it positions me to help you by showing you or introducing you to products that are going to help solve some of those problems. So above and beyond of just what the specs were is understanding more of what it is that's keeping them from getting good night's sleep. And is the pillow, your pillow is 25 to 30% of your overall spinal alignment, and 60% of the tingling that we feel in our fingers and a lot of our pain in our shoulders from an inadequate support all throughout the night. Is the pillow the problem? Your pillow is if you're out of alignment through here, you're out of alignment in your lumbar. A lot of people don't realize that. So understanding what all of these products do, how it all works together, and help me be a better listener, help me to help customers, and help me help sales associates help customers. It's going to try to
help me
and help you. I used to write songs. You had that whole thing of writing a song. I used to write them on my own, but I was taking that. I like to teach the world to sleep. I was working on that song, but instead of I like to teach the world to sing, because what a better world if we all just had a great night's sleep. Yes, we
Amen.
did.
Amen. Chris Tahaney, Senior VP of DreamFit. I hope that Karen's current and prospective customers
Mhm.
see that they get far more than priceless when they do business with her. No, I listen, I'm not
Thank you.
getting, I'm
That's
going
so
to
nice.
finish your quote, but this makes me have to go off a little bit. Karen is a passionate, committed professional. The minute you meet her, you know it. And she is rarefied air. She is more than a rep. She's a consultant. She wants to help every one of her dealers grow their business in every way possible, from education to display to advertising. She's done it all in retail, and she can help you do it too.
Oh,
So let me finish the quote now.
thank you.
You're very welcome. Chris Tahaney, this 60 minutes sets her head and shoulders above most. Yes, but she's listen to her on a Friday. On a Friday on Winning with the Weekend, when Karen gets up on her soapbox, it's great. I mean, and like everybody's taking notes, and it's all good stuff. It's all actionable things that we can and should be doing, and they're not that difficult. But here's what tends to happen, and this is to everybody. You
Yeah.
know, if you're one of those fortunate retailers that your door is swinging better than it was in, last year, you're super blessed and you don't have to listen to this. But if you're like most retailers, the store swings have slowed, and our salespeople and our store managers and us as store owners, the first thing that goes when we start to become a little bit anxious because business isn't what it should be, the first thing that goes is our creativity.
Mhm.
And let Karen spark your creativity. That is the beauty of watching a show like this,
Yeah.
to help you get more creative. Karen, I've done all the talking. I feel like I just ripped you off out of the last question I ask
Mm.
everybody. Is there something that I should have asked you that I didn't, that you want to talk about?
No, we covered a lot. I thought I was going to actually run out of time. I had so much in my head, and I have to save always a little bit. But no, I really appreciate this time and this platform
There's
to share
Karen.
this.
There's Karen's website. Get on her website, see what she does. It's amazing, and hook yourself up with those websites. Google them right away. Like, take an
Yeah.
action. The minute this show's over, take one action towards implementing this. And let me read this real quick. This is the website that you should go to. It's the capital NSF.org// drowsy hyphen drive-in. See, I actually can pronounce my G's when I want to, almost. Dash prevention. Go to that website. It's super important. If you couldn't get it from what I just said, watch the show and go to the very end of the show on the video. It's on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube in just a minute. Karen, someone is watching this and they're like, I absolutely want to talk to her. How do
Yeah.
they get a hold of you?
Oh, they can call me.
Okay.
They can email me and set up a time. I'm actually talking to Andrew later today. We
Awesome.
always have really good conversations. So yeah, I'd be happy to talk with anybody. And
So
then again, I'm a student, Pete. So
I know you are.
I
You
learn a
share
lot
that.
from other people. So share with me. I'm not a know-it-all. I know a lot, but I'm not a know-it-all, and I'm always learning. So if somebody would like to share with me something they're doing really exceptional or something different above and beyond even what I said here, I would love to hear it. So shoot me an email or text me or call me.
You can reach out to Karen.
It's yeah, you can go to connect at
Her,
karen-converse.com is my
her,
email
her
address.
cell number is 716-790-1949, in case you're listening to the audio. And if you're listening to the audio, what you really have to do is go to YouTube and watch it on YouTube because it was pretty amazing. Karen, thank you so much. That
You're
hour went
welcome.
by so
Sure.
fast, but you know what? There was a lot of ground that you covered, and I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to next quarter doing this again.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Pete, for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Karen, for sharing all your great insights with us. Have a great day.
You
And
too.
everybody, go out there and sell a million this week.